Welcome to the Dolphin Shopping Centre in Poole. Poole is located in Dorset on the Jurassic Coast and is also between Bournemouth and Swanage. Poole is home to the popular Poole Harbour, and of course there is a large shopping centre here called the Dolphin Centre. Now, the Dolphin Centre is on 2 floors, but however most of the centre is on 1 floor. And of course, there's a lot of good choices of shops to browse and so on. There's quite a lot of stuff that you'd find here in Poole. Now, there are some good names, especially department stores, but I'm only going to review the shops that have lifts in. And of course, Poole Dolphin Centre used to have interesting Schindlers, but apparently most of them have been replaced by Otis and Jackson. Now, Jackson is one of the modern generic companies to take modernisation these days. And of course, Jackson, they are flat pack, but however, they can be boring and dull compared to the historic lifts that you would find. And Poole's Dolphin Centre, you'd have quite a few shops. And anyway, we're starting in Fulton Square. So anyway, there aren't any lifts here in Fulton Square. There isn't a lift in the W.H. Smiths. And as you know, it's only 1 floor. It's on the High Street area of the town centre. As you come away from the level crossing along the High Street in Poole, of course, not much interesting here, like the cinema. That doesn't have a lift, and neither any of the little units. And it is quite disappointing that there isn't any lifts in this part of Poole Dolphin Centre. So anyway, so this is Fulton Square. As people come through, there are payphones and ATM stuff and so on to have a look at. Of course, Poole's Dolphin Centre. It is a popular shopping centre to be, and one of the main shopping centres owned by Arndale Group, and one high street part of Poole. And of course, the level crossing is closer to Fulton Square, and it's really good that this shopping centre brings tourists and shoppers into the centre of Poole, and it is quite interesting. So Fulton Square, which is a small shopping district here in Poole, and of course you have got a couple of choices of shops, and of course there aren't any department stores in this part of the centre area, but there will be when we get into the main centre. So anyway, here we are on the main centre. So the lifts you would see in this part, there is a Cone Eco Disc in H&M. It used to be VHS with Otis 2000s. And the shop next door, which was JJB, now Sports Direct, there used to be a Schindler, but they replaced it with a Jackson. Next does not have a lift. Boots has a lift. It used to be a Schindler, modernised by Generic. Primark used to be Littlewoods, where they might have used to have an old Otis or Evans, but now it's Primark with ThyssenKrupps. And Beale's, which is currently closed at the minute, but will be reopening soon. This closed because of the administration, but it will be reopening in August, and they have good selections of Schindler escalators, and also there's a huge Schindler lift right in the store itself. And it's really interesting. Beale's is one of my favourite department stores in Poole. And then you've got M&S, where there's a boring UK lift. It used to be a lovely Furs lift. However, M&S are phasing out a lot of their old historic lifts and modernising with dull generics. And however, they do have escalators in M&S. There's no escalators in H&M. There used to be when it was BHS. And Boots, they do have an old escalator. I think it's a Thyssen, and Primark, they go for ThyssenKrupp escalators in their shops. And then you got the escalators just outside Beale's in the central hall. And then there used to be a Schindler lift, but they've horribly modernised it by Otis. But however, it goes the same speed as the Schindler. However, the Otis lift, it is interesting, but it's not as good as the old Schindler lift with the buttons. And then you got the other glass lift that used to be a Platt Schindler, but they've gone for Jackson's, and so disappointing that they they've phased out all the Schindler lifts out of this historic town, because Poole is one of my favourite towns. Of course, Poole used to have some good shops. Used to have the iconic Beals, but Beals is going to be back open. Hope they don't modernise the lift or the escalator or the shop, because the shop is one of my favourite locations to be here in Poole. Of course, Beals is a historic name. It started in Bournemouth, but apparently the company went into administration, and I was so sad to hear how it reacted with closures, and it was one of my favourite shops. So this was the Poole area, and of course there's a car park. They used to have Platt Schindlers, but they're all being replaced by generics. And there used to be a Tesco in this shopping centre, used to be converted with H&M and the old JJB. And, well, it's such a shame. And I think there used to be a C&A somewhere here as well. I'm not sure where, probably in either the Next or the Primark, which became Littlewoods. And then you got JD Sports. You even have New Look. You also used to have a Dorothy Perkins, a Burton and an Evans here. Used to have the Early Learning Centre. I think you still have Animal and Hawkins Bazaar. Anyway, here's the other part of the centre going out by Fulton Square. No lifts in this part either. And now let's move on to the upper level. As you can see, there's Beals on the first floor. Beals is on 3 shopping floors, ground 1 and 2. And then you've got the warehouse at the top. And then, of course, you've got Wilko's, which is the main big anchor store. But apparently no lift in Wilko's or escalators, because Wilko's is on the first floor. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So remember, stay alert, control the virus, and save lives during this coronavirus pandemic.